Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. Best Limitless team for match day 4. Yes, if you're still lucky enough to have your Limitless chip, I've created a team for you that you can go for match day 4. Obviously, you can make a few changes here and there depending on which teams you're expecting to win, which teams you're expecting to dominate the games. And obviously, these games that are being played in match day 4 were also played in match day 3, just reverse home and away. So we got an idea of how the teams were doing against the other teams in match day 3. For example, like Porto and Royal and Trap, maybe expecting a few goals from FC Porto this time as well. Man City scored 3 goals against Young Boys this time. They're going to the Etihad. Could Man City get 5-6 goals? Could you triple up on their attack? Let's go. Let's start with the best limitless team. As always, all the links are in the description. If you want to join the league, if you want to join the prediction league, if you want to join the Patreon, all the links are in the description. So let's get straight into it. Let's start with the goalkeeper. So for the goalkeepers, I've gone with David Raya and Oblak. Oblak will be playing on the Tuesday, and David Raya will be playing on the Wednesday. Hopefully, I've not confused myself. Yes, All Black is playing first on the Tuesday against Celtic, and David Raya is playing on the Wednesday against Sevilla. So the worry at the beginning of the season about David Raya maybe not playing or Ramsdale being rotated with him. I think David Raya is definitely starting the Champions League games now. He's started the 3 of them. He's definitely going to start in this one. Last time out against Sevilla, Sevilla scored from a corner against Arsenal. They could have had a second or third goal. He did look shaky a few times here and there. But at Arsenal, it could be a clean sheet. He could make a few saves as well if Sevilla decide to attack in that game, like he did against them in Spain. And Oblak on the Tuesday against Celtic. Yes, Celtic scored last time out, and yes, Atletico Madrid have considered a couple of goals in the Champions League this season. But those are the 2 best goalkeepers in terms of definitely starting and also in terms of having home fixtures and I'd say easy opponents, Celtic and Sevilla. I've looked at all the other goalkeepers, someone like Soma, he has like Salzburg away. I would not be surprised if Salzburg scored. Ederson could be an option, but he has been rotated so far in the Champions League. Ortega Moreno started, I think, one of the games. So to be on the safe side, I don't think I'd go for Ederson. He might end up being rotated, so that is a massive risk. And then the other teams like Barcelona, Ter Stegen could be a good one, but he's going away to Shakhtar. So in the Champions League, the one thing with the Champions League, I usually don't expect a lot of clean sheets because I feel like most of the teams are very, very good. So if they keep a clean sheet, then you're very like, that's why basically even the Champions League funds, they are giving you like 2 chances on the Tuesday and on the Wednesday. So the chances of you keeping a clean sheet, maybe I'd say 50%. It's very, very rare. But hopefully David Raya and Oblak at the best could do the job for you this week if you decide to go for them. Let's go to the defenders. Defensively, let me pick. Let's start with Barcelona. I've gone for Cancelo once again, very good in attacking in terms of ball recoveries as well. He has an away game at Shakhtar. Even if Shakhtar score, Cancelo is the type of player who can get you either a goal or an assist or ball recovery points and all that. Cancelo can definitely do that for you. And the next player I've gone for is a Napoli player. I think this is the first time or second time I'm picking him this season. I've not really been talking about him a lot this season like I did last season. Di Lorenzo. Ball recoveries. He's already gotten a goal so far this season in the Champions League. Last season, he was incredible in terms of getting goals and assists, and he's playing against a Union Berlin team that are on a very, very long losing streak, and I would fancy Napoli to win in that one, and potentially a clean sheet. So Di Lorenzo, I think, is a great option. He is the captain of the team as well. For Man City haven't kept a clean sheet so far in the Champions League so far. Surprisingly, they've conceded to Young Boys, to Leipzig, and to not Royal on top, to Red Star Belgrade. Akanji scored last time. Depending on the rotation, I feel like the likes of Diaz and Walker all massive risks in terms of rotation. I feel like Akanji will start in that one, so I've gone for Akanji defensively next to Di Lorenzo and Cancelo. Next up is a player that I've picked, I think, in every single wildcard and limitless team so far, and that is Rom. He's on free kicks, he's on corners. So far, 20 points this season. I've had him in every single week, even when I played my limitless. He got me an assist. He got a goal last time out in the Champions League. David Rom is very good. I was so close to cutting him last time in match day 3. I think it's a very great option, and at only 4.5 million, I think he's a steal. He's only selected by 7% as well. And then last up, a player that I've been picking for the very first time. Dortmund playing against Newcastle, not an easy game, but they kept a clean sheet at Newcastle. So I'd know why not? Why not keep a clean sheet as well in Germany against Newcastle? Schlotterbeck was very good going forward. He got an assist. He could have had a couple more as well. And if he ends up getting a similar return, let me see how many points he picked up last time. He had 10 points. So 10 points against Newcastle, an assist, a clean sheet, 3 balls recovered. And the last time out as well against AC Milan, he kept a clean sheet as well, 5 balls recovered. So the first 2 and 9 balls recovered in the first match day. So for players like this, you're looking at 3-4 points minimum. So you're not really going to get 1 point to 0 points. And I don't see Newcastle going there and scoring 3 or 4 goals against Dortmund away from home. So I think that's a nice balance. Schlotterbeck, very good option. Let me confirm the dates they're playing. So Cancelo, Akanji, Rome, and Schlotterbeck will all play on the Tuesday. Di Lorenzo will play on the Wednesday. So you can obviously leave Di Lorenzo on the bench. Dortmund, 2 clean sheets in a row. From these 5 players in terms of clean sheets, I mean, Di Lorenzo would be expecting a clean sheet against Union Berlin at home. Akanji against Young Boys would be expecting a clean sheet. Rome away at Red Star. Red Star could score. Schlotterbeck at home to Dortmund. I mean, you could be looking at least 3 clean sheets here. It might end up being 2, but you have the attacking potential of Cancelo, Di Lorenzo, Schlotterbeck, Rome, and Akanji, like all 5 of them. I think, if I'm not wrong, Cancelo has assisted this season so far. I know in the league he has. In the Champions League, let me confirm that. He hasn't gotten any attacking returns in the Champions League so far, but in terms of ball recoveries and his attacking potential, he can always score assists. But Di Lorenzo's gotten a goal, Akanji's gotten a goal, David Roma's gotten a goal, Schlotterbeck has gotten an assist. I think all of them are very good options. So that is the difference. Next up, let's go to the midfield. There's one player that will always be in every single team I pick in the midfield. In this season, Limitless, just team selection wildcard, and that is Jude Bellingham. We've talked about him a lot. Like, he scored 2 goals in the Class El Clasico last time out. 13 goals in 13 games plus assists on top of that as well. Absolutely incredible. At home to Braga, that is a dream fixture for Jude Bellingham and whoever owns him, which should be everyone. I think at the moment he's selected by 79%. So if you don't have Jude Bellingham, I think you're playing the wrong game. He definitely has to be in your team. Next up, I've gone for Leroy Sané, Bayern Munich, playing against Galatasaray at home. I was even very tempted to go for 2 or 3 forwards from Bayern Munich in this one against Galatasaray. I think Galatasaray will score, but it could be like a 4-2 or something like that. It was, I think, 3-1 last time, and Bayern Munich looked very sharp, and that last weekend they scored 8 goals as well in Bundesliga. So they are scoring a bunch of goals, and Leroy Sané, Kane, all of them are delivering. So I've gone for Sané next to Bellingham. Next up, I've gone for Phil Foden. It's very tough to predict who's going to go, who's going to start for Man City. I wish we were getting their team news, but whoever starts there, whether it's Foden, Grealish, Doku, I think they're going to get a huge return. I've gone for Foden for now. I think they're playing on the first day, on the Tuesday. So you can take the risk. If it doesn't start, then you can always go for the bench players. And there's always a chance he could come on and still deliver. Next up, I've gone for Real Sociedad player. Brais Mendes has been absolutely incredible. And his next fixture is at home as well against Benfica. He's gotten 35 points so far this season. I think he's gotten a goal return every single game. He scored in matchday 1 against Inter Milan. He assisted and scored in matchday 2 against Salzburg, and he scored in matchday 3 against Benfica. So absolutely incredible stats for Brais Mendes. So I've gone for him there. And then last but not least, I've gone for an Arsenal player, home game against Sevilla. He takes the corners, he takes the penalties. That is Bukayo Saka. In my first team, the first week I went for Odegaard. Odegaard delivered. I think second week, third week I had Odegaard as well. Didn't have Saka. Saka has had a few injury problems here and there, but I think now, since he's been rested for a few weeks and he rested against West Ham as well in the Carabao Cup, I think Saka is fresh to go for this Premier League game coming up this weekend and the Champions League game against Sevilla. And after that, Arsenal have a game against Burnley, so I think they'll go full on this one. So Saka, Mendes, Foden, Sané, Bellingham in midfield. I'll tell you other options at the end. Up front, again, another player that I'm always speaking either way. I would have gone for Jesus if he was fit. I think he's been very good this season. But obviously, Erling Haaland. A lot of people have been saying you don't really have to go for him. But last time I made the mistake of not captaining him, and I'm the one who's been saying you have to captain Erling Haaland because he's going to bang a hat trick one of these days. He's just won the best striker award, and he could easily be nominated for another Ballon d'Or next year. Maybe this time he's going to win. I've gone for Haaland. I've also gone for Harry Kane, Bayern Munich again. Double up with Son. I think that would be perfect. Harry Kane, and then lastly, the striker. I've gone for another Real Madrid player. I feel like Braga at home, they could enjoy themselves there. And he's back. We missed him for the first couple of match days, Vinicius Junior. So that is my front three. There's obviously other players you could go for. Morata against Celtic. You could obviously go for Rodrigo instead of Vinicius. If you want to, you go for all three of them: Vinicius, Bellingham, and Rodrigo. Goalkeeper-wise, maybe if you want to take the risk on Ederson. Midfield-wise, you can take the risk on players like Rodri or Grealish. And obviously, I don't think there's too many others unless you want Odegaard instead of Saka. There's not too many options. As long as you have at least two Man City players that actually go on and say three, go as far as saying three. Bayern Munich, at least two of their players. I wouldn't really go for their defense because I think Galatasaray will score again against them. And Alphonso Davies has been great in the Champions League so far this season in terms of UCL fantasy. At least have maybe one Arsenal player. If you want a defender, you can go for it. I've ignored an Arsenal defender for this week against Sevilla. But Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid obviously target players from those teams. Have at least two players from those teams. Definitely have Bellingham and Haaland in your team and then build the team around them. Let me know which players are you picking. Are you playing a limitless chip? Have I left out any other players? Maybe players like Musiala you could go for as well. Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.